Westminster Latin play has been running for over 400 years. It was started by Queen Elizabeth I almost immediately after her refoundation of the school in 1560, and has continued with a few breaks here and there to this day. Over the centuries, it became more and more of a great social occasion, and after the last war, there were many who felt that as such it was obsolete. Moreover, Latin comedy was not in fashion in the classical world. There were other difficulties too connected with the revival of the play, the chief one being that the old college dormitory, where the plays used to be acted, had been bombed. It was a boy's idea that the play should be performed in Little Dean's Yard, in the heart of the school, in the open. And it was irresistible. It took a war to show what an ideal setting for a Latin play this was. The boys then, having read Terence's Phormio, decided that they would like to act it. And so, on the Ides of July, St. Swithin's Day, 1954, the Phormio was put on before an audience unprotected by marquee in the bitter cold of a British summer evening. Since then, the play has become biennial. 4 more of Terence's plays have been acted, and 4 of Plautus's. This revival of the Phormio is the 10th post-war production. The production itself has become far more elaborate and sophisticated than it was in 1954, when the whole cost was estimated at approximately £5. But its spirit remains the same. This film records various stages of the present production, including extracts from the final performance. Right, sit down. Phormio. This won't need a great deal of introduction to you about the Greek New Comedy, as we have already read Plautus's Captivi, but allow me to remind you that these Roman comedies are taken from Greek New Comedy of the 4th and 3rd centuries BC, of which the most famous writer is Menander. These are comedies concerning the ordinary lives of ordinary people, fathers, sons, girlfriends, wives, etc., etc. They are really the prototype of European comedy. This is the sort of comedy which Molière wrote about. This is the comedy which Terence and Plautus took from the Greek. Now, Terence himself, we haven't read any Terence yet. I'll say a few words about him. He was an African slave in origin. He lived in the next century after Plautus. He died possibly at the incredibly early age of 25. Certainly he didn't live to be older than 35. He writes a very different sort of Latin from Plautus, much more refined, much more elegant, and he is on the whole much more interested in human relationships and exploring particularly the generation gap, the relationship between fathers and sons. This is no new theme. The Phormio itself was first put on in 161 BC and is taken from a play called The Claimant at Law, in Greek, the Epidikasdomenos, I think we should take that name down, Epidikasdomenos of Apollodorus of Carystus, Carystus. Well, now that's all I'm going to say for the moment. We'll let Terence speak for himself. So let us turn to the prologue and read it to us in Latin first, please, guys then.
Postquam poeta vetus poetam non potest, retrahere ab studio, et transfere hominem in otium, maledictis de tellere ne scribat parat.
Well, let's have de terrere, please.
De terrere.
Yes, it comes from terrere, doesn't it? Second. All right, translate, please. Right, well, as time draws on, I'd like to get on to something else now. We're going to be casting next week, as you know, for Before that happens, I'm going to insult you by making quite sure that we all know all about the plot from beginning to end. That's what we thought when we did the He Ought On, till about the day before the dress rehearsal. Still, as I see Instone is still looking impatient. Perhaps he'd like to tell us the plot. Make sure we know it.
Well, at the beginning, Getter's on stage. He's been put in charge of the two sons of Demipo and Cremis. Now, Cremis has gone away to Lemnos on holiday.
Oh, wait a minute.
We haven't been told why he's
Wait a minute, one at a time. Goddamn, where has Cremis gone and why?
On holiday.
On holiday?
We don't know, but we're just not told.
We're just told he's gone to Lemnos.
Can't anyone tell me why he's gone to Lemnos?
Yes, again, it was not a... He's asked for his
Right, wait a minute. Okay, one at a time again. Brown, why has Cremis gone to Lemnos?
to look for his wife, his second wife, Bingham's wife, and his long-lost daughter.
Yeah, is that the only sort of reason why he goes to Lemnos?
He also... He escapes his process to get his money.
All right, one, AK, Longford, please.
He's got land, so he's got some property there. He's gone to...
Yeah, well, that's a bit more like
That's his excuse to her, anyway. He really wants to see his wife, but he's given
Well,
her
frankly,
sister
as I
this
rather
excuse.
suspected, just one sec, all these wives and all the rest of it, we have now got beautifully muddled up. And I now propose myself, before we go any further, to remind you of the plot of this play really from the beginning. Now, I see that luckily some of this is still on the board, so let us turn round, let us make quite sure that we follow this. Now, first of all, here is Demipo, this rich, rather stupid old Athenian businessman. Here is his brother Cremis, equally stupid, and Cremis' son Phaedria. These two gentlemen, Cremis and Phaedria, let us leave on one side for the moment. Now, Demipo, as we know, has gone off on a business tour and has left his son Antipho in the charge of Getter, his head slave. Antipho, during his father's absence, has fallen in love with and married a penniless orphan girl, Phormio. Most unsuitable match. What will Daddy Demipo say when he comes back? He will not be pleased. Well, Getter goes to his friend Phormio for help. And this is where Phormio comes in. Phormio. There, some of you may have noticed that name on the covers of your book. Now, Phormio, the arch scoundrel, is appealed to for help, and he has a brilliant plan. He is going to say that Antipho is the nearest relation of Phormio, and that Phormio has been left, as indeed she has, a penniless orphan, and that by Attic law, Antipho, as her nearest relation, must marry her. He's going to bring up a case at law about this, and thus Antipho is going to be forced into the marriage. This is what Demipo is going to be told on his return. But as this bit is so crucial to the whole plot of the play, I think we might as well just look at it again. Let's all have a look at line, line 125. Brown, you read it to us and translate, please.
Lex est ut orbi, qui sint genere proximi, isnobant, et illos ducere edem haec lex iubet.
Yes, well, Nubant, of course, would have a slightly longer U, if you please. Let's just translate that bit.
There is a law that orphan girls should marry those who are nearest in relations by birth. And this same law orders that they should marry those girls. And I will say that you are related, and I will bring an action against you.
Yes.
And I will pretend that I am a friend of the girl's father.
Yes, literally a paternal friend of the girl, that's right, good. Adjudicates veniemus.
We will go to court.
Right, well, here we are for the casting then. Now, I'm not going to correct every mistake, but I just want to see whether you can get the feel of the part in a few short lines. So, Warren, would you like to start us off? What are you offering?
I'm offering Getter.
Good. And what particular place in the play are you offering?
I was thinking of line 179, is that right?
Yes, that's fine. Where Getter is in a state of horror, rushing back from the harbour, having just discovered that his master Demipo has come home. Yes, let's have it.
Nullus esceta, nisi amale quod tibi consilium celere reperis, ita nunc imparatum subito, tanta te impendent mala.
Yes, thanks. Any other getters? All right, yes, I see you.
Nullus esceta, nisi amale quod tibi consilium celere reperis, ita nunc imparatum subito, tanta te impendent mala.
Yes, yes, I like that. Now, I think that both are very good, actually. So, whereas that's a little bit too noble for the part. Remember, getter is, after all, a slave. Any other getters? Well, it'd be nice if we could go on with the play a bit, and let's do a bit of Demophon's homecoming, coming on the stage, furious at the news of his son's marriage. Have we got any Demophons here?
Yeah.
Oh, Longford. Oh, all right, would you like to try that part? Line 2, 3, 1. Good.
Etanetandem uxorem doxit antipo, in iusum meo, nec meum imperium, ac mito imperium, non simultatem meam revereri saltem.
Yes, right, good, thanks. Any other Demophons? Yes, good, thanks.
Etanetandem uxorem doxit antipo, in iusum meo, nec meum imperium, ac mito imperium, non simultatem meam revereri saltem.
Right, good, particularly with the disturbance. And I like the sniffs, too. Any other Demophons? Yes, right, let's have a go. Yes, all right, let's hear it then.
Etanetandem uxorem duxit antifo, in iussu meo, nec meum imperium, ac mito imperium, non simultatem meam revereri saltem.
Good, yes. Now, I think there is a slight danger with Demopho, sort of turning him into King Lear if we aren't careful. Remember, he is a very silly, sort of blustering old man. Incidentally, Murray Hill, if you had him, you know, I'm afraid some of that hair would have to come off. Well, as a matter of fact, I got something up my sleeve for you anyway. Just think about Antipho a bit. Now, let's get on to Phaedria. We haven't said much about Phaedria yet. Remember, Phaedria, Antipho's cousin, who is passionately in love with this girl Pamphila, owned by a heartless pimp Dorio, who will not let her go for less than 30 minei. And poor old Phaedria is in a state about it. Let's hear him. Line 534 would be nice. Who would like to have a go at that? Guys in? Okay, good.
Quid faciam, unde ego noctam subito huic aut gentum inveniam nissa, quae minus nihilo est, quod, hixi pote fuis et exoraria, triduum hoc, promissum fuerat.
Right, fine. Any other Phaedria?
Well,
all right, well, Ledger, let's hear you. Go on, then.
quid faciam, unde ego noctam subito huic aut gentum inveniam nissa, quae minus nihilo est, quod hixi pote fuis et exoraria triduum hoc, promissum fuerat.
Yes, I like both of those. Perhaps neither was quite desperate enough there. Remember, let's have a go at line 492 and see if we can get Phaedria to plead with the heartless Dorio. Guys, then you have a shot at Phaedria again. Leisure, you try Dorio.
Non mihi credis,
Harriolare.
sin fidendo.
Fidem. Right, go on then.
Barbulae.
Venerasum istut beneficium pulchre tibi dices.
Logi.
Quite good. Let's try it the other way around. Yes, let's try it the other way around.
Non mihi credis,
Harriolare,
si fidemto.
parvulae,
Veneratum estu beneficium pulchre tibi dices.
logi.
That's much better, actually. It almost cast itself. I think, have we got any other Phaedrias? If not, I think you can regard yourself as more as booked for the part. Good. And have we any other Dorios while we're about it? Well, guys, then I think you're pretty nearly a cert for Dorio. There are a few other people who are not here, by the way, tonight. But I must say, I thought that reading so far is jolly good, and I can't see any of you gentlemen ending up without a part. We might have a go at Cremies, actually. I think you'd be the next person to do now. And we can, let's try and see if we can go on and do a bit of Act 4.
Sins breverit me, plusquam opusses scitosciet. Veriorque, ne uxor aliqua hocre sciscat mea.
Now, I think I'd like to break in there. I think you're rather forgetting exactly what Cremies is supposed to be feeling at this stage. Remember, Cremes is this very pathetic old man. He's just come home from Lemnos, where he has an illegitimate daughter, remember. And he has this terrifying wife, Norsistrata, in Athens, who is not supposed to know anything about this daughter. Now he's come back to Athens without his daughter, whom he was going to bring to marry Antipho, his nephew. Remember, all of this has to be brought out in the way you say these lines. For another thing, he cannot afford to marry his daughter to anyone else except Antipho, or the cat will be out of the bag. And his daughter has left Lemnos to come to Athens to look for him. He is feeling extremely uneasy, and the one word that sums up all his fears is uxor. So I would like to have a great deal of terror and horror in that word. Now, a smaller point, but very relevant, you said aliqua. That would be nominative singular. That would mean some wife of mine. It might be quite relevant in the case of Cremes, but I'm sure it's not what it means here. It should be aliqua in some way or other. So let's just do that last time, 585, just once more, please.
Veriorque, ne uxor, aliqua hoc resciscat mea.
Yes, that's much better. Let's not bark out the or of uxor. I'm sure he'd get his quantities right anyway. Uxor. I think while we're on Cremes, you might turn to another bit, which brings out the sort of Cremes situation. Now remember, a bit later, in fact, line 757, he has just discovered, to his immense joy, that in fact the girl whom Antipho has married in his absence does turn out to have been Phormio, your illegitimate daughter after all. This is the great coincidence. What you and your brother Demetho have tried for years to bring about, plotted and planned, has been brought about by chance, by the gods themselves. And you are overjoyed. Now let's see you do that bit. I'll just give you a little cue from the bit before Sophron isn't here. The composito factum. Quomodo hanc amant habere possit sine dote.
Vostram fidem, quam saepe forte temere, veniunt quaenon audeas optare.
Yes, it's not bad, but you want to bring out fidem more, you know, and again those adverbs, saepe, forte, temere, such Latin words, should be spat out with joy, and not too fast either. Now let's just try that bit again.
Vostram fidem, quam saepe forte temere, veniunt quaenon audeas optare.
Yes, again, that's getting better, much better. I think while we're on Cremes, we could turn to another key passage and see what he feels like when his wife's around. Now, if we turn to line 795, Cremes, remember, is just about to rush onto the stage to tell Demetho, his brother, the good news about his daughter. Suddenly he sees his wife there. He's terrified. Let's do that. Norsistrata, as you are here, you can lead us in, please.
Facciamo giudice. Sit neum verum sexione video.
Ehem Demetho, jamili datum sargentum, furoi ilico. Nolem datum, hey, video, uxorem, paene plusquam saterat. Noles creme.
Yes, I'll just break in a minute. That was not bad at all, actually. It'll be better on the stage, of course, when all the characters are standing around. Now, but I want you to say paene plus, please, and clearly, quam saterat, to the audience in a stage whisper. I nearly let the cat out of the bag. And then Demetho, you go on plugging away tactlessly to ask him what this news is, which he cannot possibly reveal in front of Norsistrata. Right, let's just try from A video uxorem again.
Hey, video uxorem, paene plusquam saterat. Noles creme. Jam recte.
Oh, there it goes again. Another cut. Anyone got the matches ready? Quick, we mustn't let a little thing like this hold us up. On we go. Good. No wax on the carpet, sir. That's what you said last time.
What's my next line? It's all over me instead.
As a matter of fact, that was quite good that time. So let's get on as quickly as possible. Now we're in the vein of it. All right, look, come on then. Let's get ready now. Let's get on with this bit. I want to do... hurry up, please. Okay, I just put it anywhere around here, please. That'll do, that's fine, thank you. Good. Now, look, I want to do some of these awkward entries today. First of all, I want to do Getter coming in from the harbour in horror when he has just seen that Demeter's arrived home. Line 175. Remember, the timing is very difficult. So, can you get out there, Getter, please? And Antifa, you start up at Egor in the middle of the line, please. Right, quick, Getter. Hurry, please.
Ego, in eum incidi, in felix
In Felix. Right, start again at Egor.
Ego, in eum incidi, in felix locum, ut neque mihi sit armitendi, nec retinendi copia. Sed quid hoc est? Vidion ego getam curentem.
Right, let's stop a minute there. There wasn't much of curentem in Getter's approach to begin with. Antifa, you did look up, but in a very sort of blasé way when he came in. Now, you've got to be much more excited, much more worried at the sight of Getter, who must be rushing in horror. Now, I remember, if you come in too fast, you're going to come on the stage too soon. So the obvious thing to do is to flop up against Dorio's house there, right? Now, remember, sorry, that is now Dorio's house, everyone. That's Demeter's in the middle, and Cremi's over there. So just flop up against there and just time it so that you come running on again just before Corentum, right? Okay, quickly, please. Back to the same place.
Ego, in eum incidi, in felix locum, ut neque mihi sit armitendi, nec retinendi copia. Sed quid hoc est? Vidion ego getam curentem huc advenire? Is est ipsus, ei timeo miser quam hic mihi nunc nuntietrem.
Nullus est Getter nisiam aliquod tibi consilium cellere referis. Ita nunc imparatum subito tanta te impendent mala, quae neque uti de vitem scio, neque quo modo me inde extraham.
Stop a minute. First of all, it's uti, ha, remember, not uti to use, which you stress like that. And then it's extraham, not extraham. Now, look, you two over there, that was not very good, because instead of just, you should sort of more or less collapse in despair, Antifa. You obviously sense that something has gone terribly wrong. Phaedra clusters round trying to console you. The way you did it that time, you just sort of strolled casually back. It was quite unconvincing, right? So let's come up to the front again, and we'll do that again. Sorry, let's stop a sec. Remember, out of doors, audibility is almost everything. And unless you're saying it in a way that sounds slightly stilted to yourself, it's almost certainly too fast. Now remember that. Let us have in-id nice and clearly, please.
In-id redactus sum loci, ut quid agam cum illo, nesciam prosum.
Ego scio.
Oh, sorry, not schio, remember. It is, after all, iambics. The last foot, either an iambus or too short. Skip all, please. Yep.
Ego scio. In use amos. In use. Huc si quid lubet.
Yeah, you've got stuck, haven't you? Because poor old Cremies has got to say assequary, etc. Follow him, run after him, and you're standing there now. Phormio, you must rush across there quickly, right? Point 2, I've noticed for about 10 minutes now you've been facing in that direction. And poor old Mr. Snook sitting over there is feeling completely out of it. Now, he wants to see some of your face, too. Demeter, you must help with this. It's partly your responsibility. You must stand forward a little when he's talking to you, so that he can look at you and embrace the rest of the audience with his eyes. Okay, let's do that bit again, then. From in use, Phormio.
In use. Huc si quid lubet.
Assequere, retinendum huc, servos evoco.
In nequio solus accurre. Una injuria secum. Lege agito ergo. Altera secum.
Rapehum.
Okay, look, sorry, stop a sec. Now, look, remember, how can Cremi say Rapehog sees him to Demeter when he's already doing it? That's another thing we did last week. First of all, Phormio, you've got to throw the umbrellas further away, right? Remember, you're ancient old men with creaky limbs. You can take hours. At the moment, it looks as if we're going in for a sort of Olympic contest for picking up umbrellas. Now, let's do it very slowly and do the timing much better this time. Let's go back to in use from Phormio again, please. That bit was much better, incidentally.
in use. Hook sequid lubek. And sekfare, retenetum hook, seo go. Enim nequium solus, acore. Una ignoria tecum. Rige agifo ergo. Alteras tecum. Sic agitis, enim velo voce stopus. Thou sistrata, exi. O supreme forum, o vide quantum wallet. Now sistrata inquam. Num taces. Taceam. Nisi sequidor, pugnatim ventremingere. Well, oculum exclude, et stupi vosul quisca probens.
Well, we're getting pretty near the day of the play now. It's about time we started to think about the prologue, which, as you know, we write here in the Classical Seventh. The chief thing is that it's got to be topical, and it's got to have plenty of puns in it. No doubt we'll think them up as we go along. These are the things the audience like most. Now, has anybody got any brilliant ideas about some topical theme?
Something about Lord Longford, maybe. Could we...
Possibly.
Well, the miners' strike's been going on.
Yes, I think that's a good idea.